Hello, everybody. I'm Aaron Simmons, and this is Philosophy for Where We Find Ourselves, March 21st, 2020. With every day, it seems like things are getting more frightening, more scary. Our isolation gets more intense, and our need for social interaction becomes more pronounced. However, I want to talk today with you about an important topic that I think all of us need and yet are struggling to find, and that's hope. Hope is something that philosophers from a variety of different traditions and backgrounds have thought about for many, many years. And the majority of the philosophers who write about hope talk about hope as something that only works if we are hoping for a very particular kind of outcome, that we hope for something that's possible. Other philosophers suggest that the real trick with hope is finding ways to hope against hope, as it were. That we hope for the impossible, for that which isn't able to be quantified or qualified within our current frame of reference. And one of those philosophers that falls into that latter camp that I find really encouraging and stimulating at a time like this is Gabriel Marcel. Marcel suggests that the ultimate expression of hope, or you might say the equation of hope, is the following statement: I hope in thee for us. For Marcel, when he says, I hope in thee for us, this is not necessarily something that we have to understand in a religious context, though it's entirely appropriate and maybe smart to do so for many people. But instead, all he means is that hope is a relational commitment. Hope is something that forces us to interact with each other in relation to shared goals, shared needs, and ultimately shared hopes. When we hope against hope, when we hope for the impossible, we are hoping in each other that hope remains. So today, let's use this phrase, I hope in thee for us, to be something that both connects to the practical outcomes we hope to see in the world. I hope in thee that you will stay home, that you will practice social distancing, that you will be engaged in isolating yourself so far as possible in order that we are able to get through this. I hope in thee for us. But also, remember that we hope for the impossible. We don't hope for simply fantasy, but we hope that we are able to become the people that we've been looking for, that we become the sorts of beings who are defined by our relational covenants and relational commitments to each other. When we hope in thee for us, we recognize that we are all part of this together, and that together, maybe there's a way for us to move forward to a future that we could hardly expect from where we stand today. It's often said that when you stand on the shoulders of others, you can see further than they could see. Part of what hoping in thee for us means is that we link arms together, or as it were, link our Zoom commitments and our social media outlets, since we can't touch each other anymore. Let's link together in ways that open futures that right now seem impossible, and yet potentially become the tomorrow into which we live. Thank you as always for listening. I hope these continue to bring you some sort of encouragement. Philosophy matters even in times of crisis because persons matter. We can get through this. Hope remains. Take care. I'll see you tomorrow, unless a piano falls on our heads.